Emi Lokon, don't turn, Ebi Lokon. Yorubas are screaming, Hausas are crying, Igbo brothers are saying, no blame them. Igbos are being discriminated. Even food don't turn to gold in Nigeria. Kidnapping, lucrative business in Nigeria. Imagine saying your grandchildren where they kidnap. By now, your soldiers for don't scatter Nigeria. How common man won't get money for ransom when they kidnap him, his wife and his children? After everything, now kill, they go kill them. See, as Naira, they fall against dollar. Emi Lokon, don't turn to Ebi Lokon. And you say make we sacrifice for Nigeria. 7 billion to renovate your residence. 15 billion for your traveling allowance. That's not for you and your only vice president. 40 billion for Asurok maintenance. 5 billion for food and refreshment. 100 of millions for dogs and animals. Meanwhile, hunger they kill Nigerians. What did Nigerians do to warrant this treatment? Even Gary, they no fear afford for the family. Thiefnubu government blame Buhari. Buhari government blame Jonathan. Hunger day, people they die. This one don't pass jaga jaga. Oh, Ebi Lokon, OTB Ebi Lokon, Baba Ebi Lokon, Edaku Ebi power. Ebi Lokon, OTB Ebi Lokon, Baba Ebi Lokon, Edaku Onyetiwo. Thiefnubu was APC party leader during Mr. Buhari Jaga government. Why didn't you help Buhari to solve the problem? Debt under Buhari, 77 trillion. No proof of any positive transformation. Unborn children ain't go pay for this evil. You know, say Buhari was incompetent, but you still bring him to destroy Nigeria. Paddy government, now you are the president. Since Buhari don't destroy Nigeria, I hope say you go free bring him to judgment. Emefiele printed 23 trillion within 8 years under Buhari government. $6 million for election observers. They say somebody forged Buhari's signature. Now lie, Buhari signed that document, period. Where our refineries, where una promise to fix. I been a Dangote refineries would they depend on how much una don't make from removal of subsidies. Since una don't they sell fuel for 600 per litre. People they sell their properties to feed their families. Meanwhile, you and your cronies they buy more properties. Shout out to Labour chairman, una well done. If the government say they no fit pay 65k, then make the pay Senate and rep 65k. Make all of us they enjoy the suffering and smiling. What you give is what you deserve. Ojoro no day. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Shout out to very black dark man. Where our daddy, Pastor Adeboye. During Good Luck Jonathan, your voice was so loud. You even vowed to stage your 1 million match. Hunger and hardship under Thiefnubu government. You say Nigeria gets spiritual problem. Baba, we need your 1 million disciples to protest against President Thiefnubu government. Just the way you protest against President Jonathan. Daddy, I be leg on the pain your disciples. Fact, this na very big hypocrisy. It's time for you to speak the truth to power. Because hunger won't kill Nigerians. Thiefnubu government blame Buhari. Buhari government blame Jonathan. Hunger day, people they die. This one don't pass jaga jaga. Oh, Ebi Lokon, OTB Ebi Lokon, Baba Ebi Lokon, Edaku Ebi power. Ebi Lokon, OTB Ebi Lokon, Baba Ebi Lokon, Edaku Onyetiwo.
Aṣòfin tí ó ń fi o. Ayé ẹ̀sùn
Hello there.
olóṣèlú. Ayé ẹ̀sùn ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ayé ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Ayé kò tí ì pèsè.
Today. So good morning to you once again. Or let me say it's the first time. So good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are joining us tonight. It is Mayegun Live. And please read the caption of the broadcast, the description of it, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today I don't know if some of you have seen the article, the New York Times article that pretty much painted the picture, the real picture, okay, of what the situation of Nigeria has become. And from their own assessment, Nigerians right now, they are facing generational economic crisis. I'm going to read that article on this platform tonight because it has also triggered the Bayo Onafunnuga as well as the entire clan of Thiefnubu's ass leakers. They are trying to say, well, it is true, but it's not our fault. Thiefnubu inherited a dead economy. This is their defense. Then they put further lies. However, they said Bokohari was defending Nigeria Naira with $1.5 billion. Fact checker, they have checked. That is not true. Also, from Onafunnuga's defense, they said Nigeria was servicing the external debt and internal debt with over 97%. Fact checker also checked. They said it is true that almost 97% of Nigeria revenue was being channeled to servicing debts. Part of this money, now only 63% the federal government of Nigeria was paying, which simply means there are those who are seeing these guys as a rabid dog as we speak, and you need to know why. That article is written by Nigerians, and it wasn't just somebody sitting somewhere writing. It was like a report from everywhere. It is not different from what you know, but it's kind of just put it together for context, right? You'll be able to now understand. So is it that bad? It is worse. It is. So a lot of people are wondering how people are currently surviving. And if they are not surviving, how come they are not showing their rejection of this? Because take a look at this. In Eedris's song, he made mention of what Thiefnubu and his gang, what they are getting for them, what they are actually like cornering for themselves. Okay. Then New York Times report, which is what we're going to go to first. That's the first part of this chart. Okay. They painted a picture that is not different from what a lot of people are already expressing. Most of them very much documented on this platform. The high cost of living. People knows why. So Thiefnubu's criminal gang, they are telling themselves that they are reforming Nigeria. Okay? And their reform is why people are in hardship now. But in reality, there is actually no reform except them reforming themselves, enriching themselves. So I have something for you here.
My 12. We'll do 10,000. This one 10,000. How much is this one?
This is 8,000.
Wala ti one Nigeria. 8,000. This one 10,000. This small one. This one 15,000. This one 35.
45.
25. My father not Ghana le man big.
685,000 tomatoes. Tomatoes 25. This one okay? 11.5. If you do video, come on, your agent. Don't be. I show my friends. They made a come buy market. The other one, you know, go say 3,000. Where are we going to in this country?
Nigeria, we are hungry. No food, no light, no
pepper is because we can't even buy rice. And that can give you the idea of what New York Times published. So I will leave a copy because I'm going to read, okay? I will leave a copy for those who haven't really seen it, okay? I'll leave a copy in the comments. You can open and read, or you can just read on your screen because I'll put it on the screen as well, okay? So here is the link. However, the New York Times report, which has made the Thiefnubu's rogues going crazy as we speak, is that one on your screen, okay? But let's go through it, and then you can tell me if any part of it is a lie, all right? And this is a report from New York Times, right? They cannot arrest them, okay? Let's go through it quickly, the next few minutes, right? So they said Nigeria confronts its worst economic crisis in a generation. People in Africa's most populous nation are suffering as the price of food, fuel, and medicine has skyrocketed out of reach for many. The picture on your screen, let's see if I can embolden that further. Just for this, okay? Now, that picture of this lady on your screen is a woman suffering from hypocalcemia caused by a lack of calcium in a hospital in Nigeria. Food prices have shot up and Nigerians are not eating enough. So she doesn't have calcium, which means her bones and all of them are weaker, possibly can't walk anymore, okay? Now, let me put that back up, right? Now, if you see any part of it that is a lie, you can say in the comment yourself. The reporters, the people who reported this and then published this on New York Times, I actually saw their names earlier. Let's see if I can probably put that up too. There were about 3 of them. I'll come back to that. Let's continue. So Nigeria is facing its worst economic crisis in decades, with skyrocketing inflation, a national currency in free fall, and millions of people struggling to buy food. Only 2 years ago, Africa's biggest economy, Nigeria projected to drop to 4th place this year. The pain is widespread. Unions strike to protest salary of around $20 a month. People die in stampedes, desperate for free sacks of rice. Hospitals are overrun with women racked by spasm from calcium deficiencies. The crisis is largely believed to be rooted in 2 major changes implemented by president elected 15 months ago: the partial removal of fuel subsidy and the floating of the currency, which together have caused major price rises. These 2 policies, right, they are IMF and World Bank policies. So remember, now, a nation of entrepreneurs, Nigeria's more than 200 million citizens are skilled at managing in tough circumstances. Without the services states usually provide, they generate their own electricity and source their own water. They take up arms and defend their communities when the armed forces cannot. They negotiate with kidnappers when family members are abducted. But right now, their resourcefulness is being stretched to the limit. No money for milk. On a recent morning, in a corner of the biggest emergency room in northern Nigeria, 3 women were convulsing in painful spasms, unable to speak. Each year, the ER, emergency room at Muritala Muhammad Specialist Hospital in Kano, Nigeria's 2nd largest city, received 1 or 2 cases of hypocalcemia caused by malnutrition, said Salisu Garba, a kindly health worker who hurried from bed to bed to ward, then word to word. Now, with many unable to afford food, the hospital sees multiple cases every day. Mr. Garba was sizing up the women's husbands, which source of nutrition he recommended depended on what he thought they could afford. Baobab leaves or tiger nuts for the poor, boiled up bones for the slightly better off. He laughed at the suggestion that anyone could afford milk. That's Dr. Salisu Garba, a community health worker treating patients at a hospital in Kano, Nigeria, the second largest city. This was last month. More than 87 million in Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, live below the poverty line. And that's them being generous. It's actually over 145 million. Okay. Now, the world's second largest poor population after India, a country 7 times its size, and punishing inflation means poverty rates are expected to rise still further this year and next, according to the World Bank, the people that are giving him money. So far, so good. World Bank alone has given Thiefnubu $4.4 billion. IMF has given him over $1 billion already. And they plan to give him a total of 4.5 billion this year alone. Last week, unions shut down hospitals, courts, schools, airports, and even the country's parliament, striking in an attempt to force the government to increase the monthly salary of $20 it pays its lowest workers. But over 92% of working age Nigerians are in the informal sector, where there are no wages and no unions to fight for them. For the Afolabi family in Ibadan, in southwestern Nigeria, the descent into poverty started in January with the loss of an electric tuk-tuk taxi. Forced to sell the taxi to pay his wife's hospital bills after the difficult birth of their second child. Babatunde Afolabi turned to occasional construction work. It paid badly, but the family managed. Take a look at this. Patients waits to be seen at the Muritala Mohammed General Hospital in Kano. But then he said, cassava, the cheapest staple in many parts of Nigeria, tripled in price. All they can afford now, he said, is a few biscuits, a little bread, and for their 6-year-old, 20 peanuts a day. So a country built on gas. Nigeria is a country heavily dependent on imported petroleum products, despite being a major oil producer. After years of underinvestment and mismanagement, its state refineries produce hardly any gasoline. For decades, the national soundtrack has been the hum of small generators fired up during daily power outages. Petroleum products move goods and people around the country. Until recently, the government subsidized that petroleum to the tune of billions of dollars a year. Many Nigerians said the subsidy was the only useful contribution from a neglectful and predatory government. Successive governments have pledged to remove the subsidy, which drains a hefty chunk of government revenue, and later backtracked, fearing mass arrest. So Bola Thiefnubu, who was unelected, who was selected as Nigeria's president last year, initially followed through. In quotes, "It was a necessary action for my country not to go bankrupt," Mr. Thiefnubu said in April at a meeting of the World Economic Forum in Saudi Arabia. Instead, many Nigerians are going bankrupt or working multiple jobs to stay afloat. Mr. Garba, the hospital worker, used to be solidly middle class even though 17 family members, including 12 children, depended on him. After shifts at the hospital, where he is setting up the first statewide ambulance service, in addition to working in the emergency room, for which he is paid $150 a month, he heads to the Red Cross. There, he occasionally received a $3.30 volunteer stipend for helping tackle a severe diphtheria outbreak. At night, he works at the pharmacy that he and a colleague set up. But few people have money for medicine anymore. He sells about $7 worth of medication per day. Last year, Mr. Garba sold his car when the gas subsidy were removed, and now takes a tuk-tuk to work. Unable to power the generator, he reads medicine labels at the pharmacy by the light of a small solar lantern. He can only afford to buy rice and cassava in small quantities. Life under the previous government was very expensive, he said, but nothing like today. It's very, very bad, he said. It's gotten so dire. It's gotten so dire that there have been several deadly stampedes for free or discounted rice distributed by the government, including one in March at a university in the central state of Nasarawa, where 7 students were killed. Mr. Thiefnubu promised to create 1 million jobs and quadruple the size of the economy within a decade, but has not said how. The International Monetary Fund said last month the state has started subsidizing fuel and electricity again, though the government has not acknowledged this. In quote, there is still very little clarity, if any, on where the economy is headed, what the priorities are, said Zainab Usman, a political economist and director of the African program at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Just for a moment, okay? I want you to know that New York Times is indeed the media arm of the US government, okay? And some believe that it is kind of remotely also run by the US Foreign Office. So somehow this subtle jibe and all of this that they are kind of publishing to the audience could be like a mixed sort of chalice. I'm more interested in the details therein. And then I want you to tell me if any of it is a lie or exaggerated as usual. Now the tapping craze. A spate of new crypto mining games that promise to generate income the more the user plays, as people across Nigeria spending all day tapping on their smartphone screens, desperate to earn a few dollars. People tap as they pray in mosques and churches. Children tap on that desk at school. Mourners tap at funerals. Many of you have seen them tapping their phones because they are going to earn money in Nigeria. Yeah, this report captured that too. So many Nigerians desperately hope that hours spent tapping on smartphone cryptocurrency apps will eventually earn them a bit of cash. One man, Rabiu Biora, says he had made millions of naira this way. There's no guarantee any of them will ever benefit from the hours they put in mindlessly tapping. Then again, they can't count on the national currency, the naira. The government has twice devalued the naira in the past year, trying to enable it to float more freely and attract foreign investments. The upshot is lost nearly 70% of its value against the dollar. Nigeria cannot produce enough food for its growing population. Food imports rise 11% annually. The currency devaluation caused those imports, already expensive because of high tariffs, to explode in price. Nigerians can become paupers almost overnight, so they are searching for anything that might hold its value, or ideally, get them rich. So people are looking for me everywhere, said Rabiu Biora, the undisputed king of tapping in Kano, opening one of his 5 foldable phones to add to his 2.7 billion taps on the Tap Swap app. Not to attack me, but to collect something from me. A relaxed, business-like 39-year-old followed everywhere by young, tech-savvy acolytes. Mr. Biora would only say that he made over $10,000 from the previous tapping craze. This is Mr. Biora. So, he profits from everyone else's taps. So, he encourages them in posts on social media and by providing free internet to anyone willing to sit outside his house. Nigerians don't need much encouragement. Despite the risk and volatility, Nigeria has the second highest cryptocurrency adoption rate in the world. So every evening, struggling young men gather by Mr. Biora's home and tap. So please for help. In much of Nigeria, it's normal to share with your neighbors and give alms to the poor. Every day, people come to the gate of Kano's Freedom Radio station to drop off sheets of paper containing heartfelt appeals for help, paying medical bills or school fees, or to recover from some disaster. A radio presenter chooses 3 to read out daily, and often a sympathetic listener calls in to pay the supplicant's bill. But lately, the appeals have multiplied, and offers of help have dried up. Good Samaritans used to come to the ER and pay strangers' bills for them. Mr. Garba said, that really happens now, either. Still, Mr. Garba said, the number of patients coming to his hospital has almost halved in recent months. Many of the sick never even make it. They can't afford the 20-cent bus ride. So, a correction. And that was pretty much it, okay? So they said a correction was made on June 11, 2024. They said an earlier version of a map with this article, it misstated the name of a state in central Nigeria. It is Nasarawa, not Asarawa. Don't worry, we got that. So please, if you are watching, can anybody just raise their hand and tell me if any part of that report is a lie or exaggerated? I know a lot of people will kind of agree that it didn't even cover anything. It's just like scraping the surface, like scraping that. Yeah, and that is why Eedris Abdulkarim's latest banger, that's the kind of music we should be letting our children listen to. There are so many of you who listen to Jaga 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 at the time, and then you've watched Nigeria gone through that slippery slope and through down the rabbit hole today. Tell your children to come and sing this. I'll use that as the mini break first. He captured it well, and this is where he actually fired a shot at Adeboye. Yes, we'll continue from there, okay? Please. Àwa ló kàn, ó ti di ebi ló kàn. Ebi ń pa wá, Mr. Thiefnubu, ebi ń pa wá. And then Adeboye. Children can sing this. Call them over.
Èmi ló kàn, don't turn, èmi ló kàn. Yorubas are screaming, Hausas are crying, Igbo brothers are saying, no blame them. Igbos are being discriminated. Even food don't turn to gold in Nigeria. Kidnapping, lucrative business in Nigeria. Imagine saying your grandchildren where they kidnap. By now, your soldiers for don't scatter Nigeria. How come a man won't get money for ransom when they kidnap him, his wife and his children? After everything, now kill, they go kill them. See, as Naira, they fall against dollar. Emilokon, don't turn to Ebilokon. And you say make we sacrifice for Nigeria. 7 billion to renovate your residence. 15 billion for your traveling allowance. That's not for you and your only vice president. 40 billion for Asurok maintenance. 5 billion for food and refreshment. 100 of millions for dogs and animals. Meanwhile, hunger they kill Nigerians. What did Nigerians do to warrant this treatment? Even Gary, they no fear afford for the family. Thiefnubu government blame Buhari. Buhari government blame Jonathan. Hunger day, people they die. This one don't pass jaga jaga. Oh, Emiloko, Otini, Emiloko, Baba, Emiloko, Edaku, Edi power. Emiloko, Otini, Emiloko, Baba, Emiloko, Edaku, Ojetiwo. Thiefnubu was APC party leader during Mr. Buhari Jaga government. Why didn't you help Buhari to solve the problem? Debt under Buhari, 77 trillion. No proof of any positive transformation. Unborn children, I ain't go pay for this evil. You know, say Buhari was incompetent, but you still bring him to destroy Nigeria. Paddy government, now you are the president. Since Buhari don't destroy Nigeria, I hope say you go bring him to judgment. Emefiele printed 23 trillion within 8 years under Buhari government. $6 million for election observers. They say somebody forged Buhari's signature. Now lie, Buhari signed that document, period. Where our refineries, where una promise to fix. I been a Dangote refineries would they depend on? How much una don't make from removal of subsidies? Since una don't they sell fuel for 600 per liter. People they sell their properties to feed their families. Meanwhile, you and your cronies they buy more properties. Shout out to Labour chairman, una well done. If the government say they no fit pay 65k, then make they pay Senate and Rep 65k. Make all of us they enjoy the suffering and smiling. What you give is what you deserve. Ojoro no day. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Shout out to very black dark man. Where our daddy, Pastor Adeboye. During Good Luck Jonathan, your voice was so loud. You even vow to stage a 1 million match. Hunger and hardship under Thiefnubu government. You say Nigeria gets spiritual problem. Baba, we need your 1 million disciples to protest against President Thiefnubu government. Just the way you protest against President Jonathan. Daddy, I be leg don't depend your disciples. Fact, this na very big hypocrisy. It's time for you to speak the truth to power. Because hunger won't kill Nigerians. Thiefnubu government blame Buhari. Buhari government blame Jonathan. Hunger day, people they die. This one don't pass jaga jaga. Oh, Emiloko, Otini, Emiloko, Baba, Emiloko, Edaku, Edi power. Emiloko, Otini, Emiloko, Baba, Emiloko, Edaku, Ojetiwo.
Thank you so much, Eedris, Abdul Karim. Yeah, that's some great piece of work there, honestly. And if I see Eedris Abdul Karim's, what do you call it? Fans support link, I will promote it and I will contribute towards that too. Just the kind of people that, you put your resources together and support. If Nigeria was a real place. Then there was a clip, I don't know how recent or how old this clip is. Immediately after that music, then this came out, and it was from Adeboye.
The elders say there are 3 categories of madness. There's the one who is mad, walking about naked. And they said that's the lowest category of madness. Why? Because if you are walking along the street and you see that fellow coming, you move to the other side. That one is easy to avoid. Category 2 is the one that is fully dressed. I mean, 3-piece suit. Some of them riding in the Rolls Royce. And yet they are crazy. Just one of them demonstrated his craziness, and the economy of the world crashed. You may have PhD and still be mad. Some who are apostles by title, and they are crazy. And there are many of them now on YouTube. And all you need to do is say a word, and you silence them. The category 3, the worst type of madness, according to the elders, is the one who pays attention to a madman. A madman is dancing, and you are watching. You are category.
He has no job. He has.
I'm a pulpit bandits. You know that they said Redeemed Christian Church of God is the church chapter. Oh no, sorry, the church arm of APC. Have you seen Pastor Ruga lately? Pastor Ruga is preaching now that people should remember Christ and all of that. They should be good as Christians in government. They have to think about the people. That's Pastor Ruga. So the article of New York Times rattled the Thiefnubu scam, and they have said that we were right. Bokohari is a criminal. And not just himself, his wife, his children, his political appointees from A to Z, their own wives and husbands, relatives, children too, family generally. They should, I've said that here before. So Thiefnubu's statement categorically says Nigeria was dead. He inherited a dead Nigeria. The question now is from who? From that article. You have been summarily warned. Whatever you are facing in Nigeria right now, Omoyami, Kemi Ola Ogunio, because I don't want to say Kemi Iya Ogunio. Warm up, last on you, all these things you are witnessing. If you are watching me from Nigeria right now, would you me that? Oh, clear, go clear, right? Or what about my voice? Show clear, go door. Call off me, let me talk on you. I just don't know. Because sometimes, right, you also have to pray and say, Kolomatori Yadawasi. Whatever you are facing in Nigeria right now, economically, a Shimara bag of price is 200,000 naira. You just need to take a look at what these guys are doing. They are so defensive. And then they are, it's like they believe themselves. Okay, they are telling themselves that they are doing well. Majority of you don't even know. It's because you don't like them. Yeah. They are planning for next election. Like everything is all right. So that is the actual red flag for you to take me serious. And don't think I am wishing anything bad on you. Because a lot of you, what you wish on yourself, right, is so worse that you don't deserve any pity. But only if what you wish on yourselves will happen to you only, then maybe we won't worry. Look at what you have brought up on Nigeria. Some of you are defending them, eh? So we see what you have brought upon yourself. So the bottom line is that this guy's action, you are still going to buy a liter of petrol for 2,000 naira per liter. And you'll be asking yourself, how did that happen? How did this happen? There are so many of you here. If you are old enough, that in your wildest dream, you will never believe that $1 to naira will be exchanged for over 1,500 naira in your lifetime. I don't think you probably ever imagined that. Did you ever imagine that one day in call, you are going to be buying a bag of rice for 90,000, 95,000? Ever? Those of you who are like grown up. That is to tell you that whatever Bokohari did, na child's play to what these guys are gonna do. And it can only be one end goal, one consequence. Unfortunately, Bible said that where the sinners are being punished, even the innocent go collect. That's not fair, but it is that's how the world kind of runs. So I don't know if I should be praying for you, long life. Do people actually still say long life and prosperity anymore? I don't know. I'm just saying, people have become so poor. Their purchasing power has become so gone. Oh, you know, but if you are watching me from Nigeria, it's not my prayer or wish that you are going to wake up in the next few weeks and you are going to be asking yourself again, what is this again to your long? A lot of you are trying to manage, but you know something. What you are doing is you are rationing, you are adjusting like that frog inside the inside this boiling pot. That's what some of you are doing. Adeboye was on this program, I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday, when Adeboye told us that she just came back from Nigeria. People are cashing out. There are this elite that are cashing out. They are like, as all of you are complaining, they are getting contracts here and there, from their past, millions of naira. They are buying, they are purchasing, all these high-end properties and all that. That was what Adeboye saw. It has always been like that, my dear. But something is that you should know is that circle has become more shrinking, so to say. People are dropping off every now and then. There were those who had access to all these unlimited, illegally sort of mobilized funds within the system. That's what Nigeria is. You don't even have to know where the money is coming from. Your friend could just be a caterer. Boom. 2 billion naira. Wow, 2 billion for waiting. That's what they do. But the thing here is that space is shrinking because more and more people are becoming more desperate that they want access to that. It is like a bubble. They are like in their own cycle. And they become greedier and greedier and greedier. And you can imagine the amount of money they are now actually confirmed to have been looted by these guys. And a lot of us are wondering, what are they doing with all of that money? Because their space where they used to steal has grown bigger. More and more people within that space. And there are more and more dropping off too. So the bubble will burst soon. It's going to be like everybody's just going to wake up and the whole thing stream is going to dry up. And then we'll see how they react afterward. The poverty that you have in Nigeria right now is caused by the collaboration of the rogues who are still in charge of Nigeria. And they are not changing. No, they are not. It's going to get worse. I don't want that for you. I've got families there. I've got friends. I look at them and I'm like, people will look at them and think they are lazy. People look at some of you and they think you are lazy. Because no amount of what you do, you're almost not going to have anything to show for it. Like, what kind of life is that? That's not fair. And if you understand this very well, there should never be any place in your mind, in your heart, in your head that has any soft spot for these guys. There shouldn't be anything left in you that still tells you maybe they know what they are doing. I don't know. I'll leave it at that. So they have told Nigerians that Nigeria would need sacrifice. They say Nigeria needs sacrificing citizens to progress. That's what Thiefnubu said. And let me show you the sacrificing citizens.
To our Senate President and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our fallen president, people are going through a lot. The poor people are suffering. I know you don't feel the pains of the poor. I know you don't feel anything about the poor. Nothing concerns you about what the poor people are going through, because your heart is as dark as charcoal. You are like a vulture looking for a dead body to devour. I know you don't feel the poor people pains. I wonder how the poor people keep quiet. They refuse to say something. They refuse to pour out their agony. Everybody is keeping quiet, enjoying the hardship that Tinubu has brought to us. I'm not going to enjoy it because I don't have. That is why I will speak out. I will use the small money I have to buy data to speak out. We are suffering. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I know you don't have heart. Your heart is as dark as charcoal, but I will still say something. And my prayer is, your children will face what you put us through. Your children will suffer it. You think you have escaped, but our prayer is your children will, calamity will fall upon them. Distraction will fall upon your children. God will hit your children with a bigger problem that is way higher than what the poor people are going through. Disaster will fall upon your children. They will suffer. The kind of disaster that will fall upon your children, even the best hospital in abroad cannot be able to save your children. God will punish your children, because we the poor are going through a lot. We can no longer afford food in the market anymore. God will punish your children. If I say God will punish you, you are older. Very soon you will die. So it is your children that my prayer is going to. Disaster will fall upon your children. The kind of disaster that will fall upon your children, even the doctors will not be able to save your children. Your lineage will perish by the grace of God, except God did not answer. God did not want to answer the prayers of a poor person. As long as God lives and God answered prayers, your children will face calamity by the grace of God. To our senior
of our greedy leaders, oh, thunder, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that we have peace in our nation. We'll join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their journey. Furthermore, our security agents.
He say, I wish that works. I know some of you watching that will be like, oh, man, see passion. Man, this girl is cursing from her heart. See, I tell you, karma is a poor man or a weak person's gets back sort of a feeling. You know, when I can't fight somebody, something happens to them, I'm just like, thank you. See, karma. God has come to my aid and fought for me. Or God has fought for me. Sorry, God has fought for me or something like that. That's karma. When something bad happens, or you know. It doesn't work that way. These guys will live normally. If they're gonna die young or die old, if they're gonna have depends on their lifestyle, by the way, right? If they're gonna have health problems that cannot be cured and all of that stuff, none of this is going to give back what they have taken or what they are taking from you. I mean, if you want to take documentaries of people reacting to losing loved ones, people they love that just died because they can't afford the medical treatment, as cheap as it might be, then they cry with tears and they curse the government, they curse the politicians. Some of them will still go back and collect money and collect a cup of rice and all that. But it doesn't work that way, my sister. You would have to put actions to it. Okay? So if we have 87 million Nigerians reported as people living below poverty, these are the working corpses, and more people are joining them. So imagine if all these 87 million decided that, this is too much, it's over. Even the whole world will be shocked. Because I move money here. So no amount of courses and all of that can really work. But for it can be very therapeutic too. Yeah, it's kind of a coping mechanism. Long. I have it except if I'm not worshiping you. If I'm not serving you, Heavenly Father. Between now and 7 days, I want you to show that you are mighty God. I'm like, come on, man, stop trying to make God a magician, except if you're actually calling your sky daddy, that kind of, that's blasphemy. Baba, leave God, face these guys and see how fast you will change everything. You will change things for yourselves and your children. Take a look at, I played this video earlier, right? They have an anthem at the end of it. Okay? And Nigerians, right? They will turn everything into a joke. Look at these bowls. The pepper. 10,000, 25,000. So no wonder people are now using cucumber instead of tomato on the streets.
My 12. We'll do 10,000. This one 10,000. How much is this one?
This is 8,000.
Wala ti one Nigeria. 8,000. This one 10,000. This small one. This one 15,000. This one 35.
45.
25. My father not Ghana le man big.
85,000 tomatoes. Tomatoes 25. This one okay. 11.5.
If you do video, come on, your job. Don't be. I show my friends. They made a come by market. The other one, go say 3,000.
Where are we going to in this country?
Nigeria, we are hungry. No food, no light, no water. Pepper is cost, garri is cost. We can't even buy rice. See our children hungry. No food, no light, no water.
Pepe is cost, Gary is cost. We can't even buy rice. Nigeria, we hungry. And I should master that. That's kind of like should be the anthem. That too should be the anthem. That's the situation. And it's those ones get calcium. Let's see some of them. That's why sometimes I feel sorry for you, the Abobakus. Okay. In the time of Bokohari, the Buharidins, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unekaris, the sophisticated morons, the humbled slaves, even the Abrodian Buhari idiots, your uncles and aunties abroad, the Mumu lecturers, the Bele lecturers, as well as but actually those of you were like the Buhari idiots of that era. Una get calcium. Now see they feed they afford food. This Thiefnubu time, some of you, the Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all risers, all of them, voluntary slaves, bastards, bad idiots. The kind of hunger we go catch you, stroke, you will get stroke at a young age if you don't cease and desist now from defending the criminals that Omadaroba in once your see everything, whatever you see you the chop. That's if you see anything to eat at all. Then you will struggle and then scrape some money, load your phone, and then you will come on social media and you begin to tell everybody, tell whoever care to remind you, ikú dẹ̀dẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n, ikú rèé o, ikú ló fi ń ṣeré yìí o. You begin to use that little change that is left in your wallet. You begin to defend call. Who ti calcium about it to bá depreciate it or stroke báyìí ni bóyá máa ká lélẹ́yìí. Wọ́n máa ta phone ẹ̀ kò ní ká. Like they will sell your phone, it won't even cover it. I've seen it before. You have heard what I'm talking to. Some of you are like the sewage dwellers, the Lagos Abobakus. Go and read about it. You must see something, I don't know, something. It's very bad. You can't show me about it. To bad depreciate. O ma kaba yeri. Kolojo to de o ti gbon pa iku alapadupe. Àwọn ikú tó máa sọ pé ikú ti bò ti fi ikú bò láṣìírí. You know those kind of ikú. Ebi akaka, alapadupe. Àwọn ebi we go to make you the see vision. The kind of hunger we go to make you see vision. And you see these guys, they will continue telling themselves that they are doing well. Everything is fine. You are joining them to believe that everybody exposing them is an enemy. It's because they are their enemy. Oh, you are defending your enemy. The level of the kind of hunger that is going to happen to Nigeria is not from you, from the available data new. In the next few weeks, months, I don't know. What kind of hunger they said famine that happened to Egypt in the Bible that they said at a point people wanted to start eating their children or something like that. It could be like saying a low cost enter. It's going to be this visible low cost. You might think it's us that are wishing this. No. Take a look at all the reports. People are dying, unreported. And you still have the strength. You still have the strength to think that those who don't like Thiefnubu, that is why it's about like or they don't like. It's about me, Yoruba, I'm Igbo, I'm out. You could have been sharing now, but not slow death. Everybody they realize that now. before everything to pack up, you're likely going to make a video too to tell your fellow crumb eaters, ass lickers. I hope you will remember this. You say, that guy, that Mayegun, he said it too. Because I have been saying it. And that same thing happened now. You know, I told you something about the Thiefnubu's coastal road to nowhere. They are already cheating Nigerians before they even kind of complete 1 kilometer out of the 700 kilometers. They have changed the map. They have deviated from this. People were so loud to say, no, you cannot destroy our ancestral land. We buried our people there. We have our gods there. And the Yoruba gods cannot move anyhow. So the people that said the over $200 million investment, Landmark and others on that beach, right? They had to go. And indeed, they kind of called them down, right? The same people, when they told them that Yoruba gods, they move anyhow. Okay, no leave, no transfer. The devil decided to redraw it. People ain't gonna go redraw the coastal road to nowhere on their land. They to themselves are saying, this is not the new Shege they promise us. Esa, what did they promise you? What did Thiefnubu promise you?
This is Okun Aja, a coastal community in the Etiosa local government area of Lagos State, located along the axis of the multi-billion naira 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project embarked upon by the federal government. A close observation by the AIT crew during this visit to this community shows that the indigenes here are not happy as they express grave fears following the latest alignment of the Coastal Highway project.
The coastal road alignment has been taken back to the old rejected alignment. And that's what we agreed on, and everybody was cheerful at the meeting. Until even when the president came for the commission of the project, we were there. We appreciate the effort of the Mr. President. But unfortunately, as on Monday, we read on the newspaper that the ministers had realigned the coastal road to another place. It's quite unfortunate because that's not what we bargained for, what we agreed for. We all believe on the renewed hope, but what is happening now is not anything like it's not a renewed hope anymore.
I am begging the minister to please look into this, to follow the rightful gazetted alignment.
For them, despite having approved building plans, certificate of ownership and governor's consent in their possession, as well as assurances by the Works Minister Dave Umahi during the stakeholders meeting that their property will be spared from demolition.
But to my surprise now, the government has been, diverted from the whole alignment that was in the plan to the area which I built my house that was not even on coastal road alignment. So that now we that have our genuine document, our approval from the government, will now be the one now to face the consequences.
Our pleading to the minister and the president that we want the alignment to go straight to the old alignment. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former governor of Lagos State, now the current president of Nigeria, have already mapped out for the entire community.
They also called on the federal government to honor their existing plans, as the current scenario has left many of them not sure of their next move. Obinume.
Anarchy loans. Anarchy loans. Anarchy loans.
Thank you very much, Martinelli. I think I found the name. Okay. For those of you who are still defending these rogues and you do not have a safety net, be insurance. If you are doing this, defending this APC, Thiefnubu, based on the Ronuku standard, they said that thing that will make you kako, be shaking. It is called the Una never see something. Una never see something. Una never see something. When finally that happened to you, Baba, even your friend will go miss you because you are just a number. You are just a statistic. How many people died from the cholera so far? How many? 67. Right. 67 people have died from cholera. 30 of them have died in Lagos alone. Do you know their names? Anyone? Nobody knows their names. Just 37, 35, 40, 17, 200, 600 people died, 70,000 people died. Do you know their names? That's how much value these rogues in charge of Nigeria place on lives of Nigerians. So you, when they defend them, oh, about the iron and calcium, you can't chop grass like to the ewure jelly aguton jemo. You know, ewure jelly in Yoruba is that goat where they chop anything. Let's say any goat wey waka with dog go chop shit. You can see in Nigeria today, goat go chop shit. Say your friend no there. They say, may we not eat from our enemies. Show monkey you they play. You and your friend, on they starve, your enemy they cook. If it's gonna be your last supper, you know go chop them. There's so many horrible things going on as we speak. If the victims are able to come out and give the account of what they're actually experiencing, a lot of people would never believe such things ever. Is that possible? You will never believe it's happening. And that's Nigeria for you. One of the things you may not think is ever happening is this conversation around, do you know that there are still nearly 50 people, if not more, that are still in jail in Nigeria because of the EndSARS protest, and they are not charged? That's Nigeria. Those people raided, picked up here and there during that national massacre of the protesting youth. I mean, Nigeria actually turned weapon on their own citizens, for God's sake. And the people who did that, they are still in power in Nigeria. And then they came out today and they said, no, that's a lie. Anyway, it was Shehu Sani that came out and said, see, Mr. President, there are still people who were arrested during the EndSARS protest. They are still in jail today, and the court, the judges, they continue, to postpone or never give them any hearing. How do you go out and protest against police brutality? And then the police have been brutalizing you for 4 years. So the police said, no, there is no one in their prison. I love this guy. He came out to clear the air. You should listen.
Dismissed claims by human rights activist Shehu Sani that there are EndSARS protesters still in detention. The NPF stated that the call by Sani on President Bola Tinubu during Democracy Day celebration on June 12 to release scores of EndSARS protesters still in detention is misleading. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adeboye said Sani's claim is misleading as no EndSARS protester is still in detention. It will be recalled that in October 2020, young people across Nigeria took to the streets calling for the disbanding of an abusive police unit known as the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, and for government to end police brutality. The movement was tagged EndSARS, #EndSARS. However, security forces responded with excessive force, including gunfire, which resulted in deaths, serious injuries, and arrests. Joining us now on the morning show is Ayoyinka Oni, Lagos State Chairman, African Action Congress, AAC, former Lagos Coordinator, Take It Back Movement, and Co-Coordinator, EndSARS United. Good morning, and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you for having me.
Who should we believe here? Well, Shehu Sani or Olumuyiwa Adeboye, although I'm tempted to stay on the side of Shehu Sani, given the record of the Nigerian police that we know.
Thank you very much. Well, I don't know what the police PRO is trying to do or politics is trying to play, but there are facts that there are people still in detention. And they have names, their faces. We have been having numerous prison visits since 2020 till date, and we have their names, and people have been released. Larry Williams is still in detention. He was picked due to EndSARS. You know, Daniel Joibu is still in detention, was picked due to EndSARS. Ismail is still in detention, many of them, and there are lists of people that are still in prison. So when the government is saying, or through the prayer that people are not in jail, they were pardoned, it sounds a bit funny. What are they trying to play?
All right. So you mentioned names. You say that they're not, the police is in very little economical with the truth. What would you say has been the efforts by groups like yourselves? And I mean, Mr. Shehu Sani spoke up on Democracy Day. What efforts have been made, and what has the response been like? Because I know that the advocacy never stopped. I know that the campaigns never stopped in terms of, I've seen a few of them around. So what have you done, to what extent, and what has been the response so far? Has it always been denial, or have there been engagement to the police force?
Yeah, so basically the police have done what I would call a wicked duty of picking up people illegally and accusing them of numerous crimes. Obviously, when you pick people up, you're not going to say they're EndSARS protesters. It makes no sense, you know. So they just accuse them of arson, armed robbery, and maybe public disturbance, which they have not been able to prove for 3-4 years, and they dump them in prison, Kirikiri Koyi prison, and they lay their hands. So basically, where we now have issues is within judiciary. Some of them don't have lawyers. We get lawyers for them. Over the past 4 years, Take It Back Movement and some other groups, EndSARS United, have been able to get people out of jail. You know, Nicolas Umba was one of the earliest released in 2021. We had Shiya Ubola in December, Sunday Okoro. The latest 3 that were released recently, Olumide, Oluwole, they were released March 2025. EndSARS protesters. 2024, sorry. Okay. March this year, just a few months ago. And guess what? Where we have problem is the judicial system. A case of Larry Williams, he has had over 18 times in court. And what is going on? Adjournment. What's
he accused of?
He's accused of armed robbery, arson. And Larry Williams, I'm not mistaken, was not even picked in October. I think it was late December. And guess what? Because he posted videos of police being beaten and being molested during the EndSARS on his WhatsApp TV that he downloaded from Twitter like everybody. And he was picked up, taken first to Sabo police station, spent days there, tortured, beaten, before he was taken to SARS, from there headed up as Kirikiri. So the judicial system needs to help us. All this unnecessary adjournment. If you said a young man of 21, now he has spent four birthdays in police station, in Kirikiri rather, you know, prove it that he was an armed robber or arson. But no, that has not been done, and keep adjourning case over 18 times. It's unfair.
Let's humanize these people. Let's go through this case by case file.
Okay.
There's this poster, EndSARS, victims in Sanwo-Olu's prison in Lagos 2020. Sadiq Rilwan, Hakeem Aziz, Charles Gustin Adele, Eedris Lawos, Quadri Aziz. Is Hakeem Aziz and Quadri Aziz, are they brothers?
They are about 31. So let me
31 of them. Moses Ofoke, Kabiru Ajetumobi. Can you
let me break down that list. So this list was released late 2023.
Okay.
I think before the election or after the election. And as at that time, most of these people were still in prison. Mm-hmm. Now, this is the case. The case is that movement and lawyers do not have the strength.
Are all of these people still in prison?
Most of them, not all. About 3 of them have been released out of this list. Okay. Some of them have their own lawyers, which we don't know. Yes. Okay. Some of them have their own lawyers, which we don't know. And some of them, being in jail for over 4 years, have accepted the plea bargain. You know.
So this, at least for your own record, you can have those names of those who have been in prison for the past 3 years, nearly 4 years now. Okay, and Nigeria is practicing democracy. There were so many of them that the police now had to put them on trumped-up charges: armed robbery, arson, assaulting police officer, public disturbance, and so many others. but the intention is just to keep them there. Ah, man. Anyway, the guy wanted to tell us all the 29 names out of the 31 that he has. So let's listen to that.
Some are out already, but the ones that we are working on, that we know that they are still in jail, Dare Williams is still in jail, Daniel Joibo is still in jail, Adigun Sodiq is still in jail, Ismail Olaogun is still in jail, Rashid Bolaji is still in jail, Moshood Biola is still in jail, Ismail is in Kirikiri maximum prison.
As we speak now.
Yes, this young boy was 20 years when he was picked in his home in Ikorodu by thugs and the police. 20 years. And they pick a knife which he used in selling fish as part of the evidence. He's still in prison to date.
And these are the ones you're working on?
Yes, these are the ones we are working on. But that list is clear and is evidence because we don't want, when a movement are doing this alone, it is a strain on movement.
Are you sure that there are some other people that you might not have captured in your list that might still be in prison?
That is it. That is it.
Are you sure of that?
Yes, there are people that
because
will still be
these
there.
ones are only in prisons in Lagos, other prisons, other parts of the country.
So
are you sure of them?
Yeah, there are people still, because when we go to court, we meet these people that we are not the one handling their case, and they tell us they were picked due to EndSARS.
Okay. Now there are issues here about enforcement of fundamental human rights.
Yes.
So the lawyers will go and argue that in court to secure their release. In some of those cases, do the lawyers insist on damages being awarded?
Yes.
Because the Nigerian state cannot just pick somebody up, frame up charges, and keep them in prison for 4 years or indefinitely. Second, what effect does this have on the movement? Obviously, the purpose of repression is to discourage people who want to take back Nigeria. So what has been the experience? Do you see almost complete, near complete loss of enthusiasm on people who ordinarily allow themselves to be mobilized? Because many parents will say, don't go and join them.
Yes.
Otherwise, they will lock you up. You know,
you get
what has been the effect on the movement?
Yes, definitely. There's not going to be any say that it's in a way affected the morals of young people. You know, people were shot at. Those are victims also. And also, people have been in jail 20 years, 21 years. So that Williams has done. He's born December, 4 birthdays in prison. He has been marshal all the time. You know, so definitely has reduced the morale. And also when the movement have to be going after bringing people out of prison, where there are other issues. The police brutality issue has not stopped. That's not ended. But people cannot leave them behind. You have to bring them out of jail. And you spoke something about fundamental human rights, which is very painful because you arrested people, discriminated illegally, accused them of crimes that they never committed, you couldn't prove it, and finally the courts granted them guilty and acquitted and discharged. But the case is that most of these victims don't have the funds to file for case of fundamental human rights. Sheya Obola never filed for anything. Nicholas Umba never filed for anything. Sodiq, immediately Sodiq came out of jail, he was on a sick bed. He never filed for anything. And you know, lawyers have done many of these cases pro bono. You know, for them to now take off fundamental human rights case pro bono again is a bit difficult. But let's assume the government is responsible.
That's the sad tale. Other factors that some of you should always remember why the morale of the people who are subjected to this systemic torture, why they, number one, they have reduced their purchasing power. They've made them very poor and scared. Okay. Then those who had courage and stood up, they killed them or locked them up. And then the judiciary helped keep them there. So all of these are other factors you sort of have to remember why it seems impossible for these poor people to kind of stand up and push back. But somebody said an hungry man is an angry man. I think that should supersede other factors. I'm going to die of hunger, and I'm going to do something. I will do something. It's just that mostly in Nigeria, even if you have to do something because you don't want to die of hunger, It's never going to be to go after the people that actually make you so poor to be hungry. It's going to be something stupid, fortunately. You know, that's why they said those of you who still have the ability or the capacity to fund your lifestyles in Nigeria right now, you are the people who have a lot to lose, because the target is to make so many of you become these same desperate people that they have, they've created, fortunately. And that's going to take us to River State. So many dramas, okay? And I will brief you some. So initially, you know the story of Wike and Fubara, right? It has taken a different turn because the Wike and his men, they've actually recorded so many losses. And right now in River State, it seems to be the mood of a lot. Oh, my land, oh, my land, my land, oh, my land. When shall I see my land? When shall I see my beautiful land where we can collect by force? So the 27 lawmakers, including their speaker, who have been very loyal, and they were given the assignment to work together and ensure they remove Fubara. These were guys who were all together, by the way, initially, but I don't have to take you through the story, right? This is just an update. So the update now is that they went to court, right, to exercise their fundamental human rights and other rights by saying, yes, we were supposed to have crisis in the PDP and use that to decamp to APC, but there is none. But still, like, we are in APC already. Then they went to court. Unfortunately, when they went to court, their own court, they now presented themselves as PDP. These are the guys who have decamped to APC. And Thiefnubu was supposed to give them protection. But unfortunately, something is wrong. That protection is not coming. Or maybe they have a surprise for us, okay? Because you know something? When these guys went to go and appeal the court order that said they've lost their seats, they didn't present themselves as APC members. They presented themselves as PDP. They said, no, we have not decamped. We are still in PDP. But unfortunately, the appeal said, no, they've left. And they've lost their seats. They are waiting for Supreme Court. I don't know if it's going to get to that too. Then the local government chairman too. You see, in Nigeria, right? When they do a general election, for example, general elections where they have the governorship, they have the presidential, the senatorial, all those, right? And they have them almost same day or within 2 weeks. The result that always comes out will show you how each party sort of robbed themselves in each state. So if you have a state, for example, you have a state that is 20 states. When they release election of a general result, that party A, that is the leading party, may actually win, let's say, 10 local government areas. But do so well in the remaining 10. Then their own rival next to them may win, let's say, 7 local government areas. Like, you shall see every of them do their own little, depends on how much money they were able to push and all that, okay? Then the winning party A, the winner, they will now swear the party A in. it will now be the turn of the local government elections. Surprisingly, Party A will just have a landslide. Win all the elections, all the local government areas, because it will be able to actually fix that. And by fixing that means fixing his own men in all of the local government areas to help him maintain a political structure that can win election for him next time. So their loyalty is to him. So the whole process is rigged. Even when they conduct pretentious elections. Then in between elections and, no elections, right? They always have, so in between elections and the end of the terms, which is mostly 3 years for local government areas, okay? So the administrators will spend 3 years. Then they will bring in a caretaker committee. There is no law that back caretaker, okay? So it's just like an administrative head, which means you appoint the head of the department or head of the local government, OGA. They will take over the administration of the local government until the next election. That's what the law should be. But politicians will now appoint other set of guys. Sometimes they will retain some of the chairmen as caretaker until they sort out the list of who has been loyal, who hasn't been loyal. So they will remove those who haven't been loyal, or those ones who have been loyal, they are upgrading them to another, maybe House of Assembly or reps. So they will have another person in. Then they will now go and conduct elections. They are charade as usual, that all of the candidates of the governor will win. So Wike did it. And when this whole wahala started, some of them, they were expecting that, what if Fubara won't do? Oh, Benny, you are just like us. You can't, once Oga says we should go and do election, local government election now, we'll write the names and all of that. So as part of the insubordination, usurping the power of Fubara when their wahala started. You see these 27 House of Assembly members and their speaker, 26 House of Assembly members and their speaker, right? They have been changing the laws, their bylaws in Rivers State, in their own stupid mind, right? They were changing laws by using what they call the power to veto the governor. They don't need the governor to sign the bills into law. They could veto him. Since they have the majority, so they started removing Fubara from the official constitutional function of his as governor. They started replacing them with themselves, like, no, he doesn't have to do it. Another person can do it. So the local government chairmen, like the lawmakers, they are not loyal to Fubara, not all of them. And they have openly, right? Sort of, openly criticized and then abused him, kind of like, I don't know the word to use, Sha. You get what I mean? In a condescending way. And they told him that their tenure will end. And that tenure ended today. And then they told him, he said, all of you that are abusing me, all of you that are disrespecting me, your time will come and then you will go. And they told him that even when their tenure ends, he's not the right person to tell them to leave. It will be Wike. So that sort of has triggered a lot of reactions in Rivers State. Asari Toru local government area in Rivers State, and few others too. People have decided to go and take over the local government areas from these Wike's men. And the genesis, see, also, there were other things within the assembly, among others. So let this guy explain. Listen to this.
The particular issue that led to the institution of this suit was when it was brought to the attention of the NGO, the fact that the Rivers State House of Assembly had passed a law, an amendment known as the Rivers State House of Assembly Service Amendment Law, number 3 of 2024, which purported to give the Speaker of the House of Assembly the power to appoint the chairman and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly Commission. Now, what it did was it amended the previous law, which provided that the governor had the power to appoint the chairman and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly Commission. what needs to be understood is that this power of the governor was not just appropriated by the governor to himself. It was provided for in the Constitution, as you see in the judgments, Section 5, Section 176, Section 197, and Section 198, that the chief executive, or the governor, the chief executive officer of the state, has the power to appoint the chairman and members of state bodies. What the amendment sought to do was to take away that power of the governor and give it to the legislature. In the Constitution, there's a clear separation of powers. The legislature, you make the laws. The executive, you enforce these laws. So there was our contention before the court was that there was no way the legislature could have taken away the governor's power to appoint and give it to the speaker. And rightly, the court has held that Section 3 of the Rivers State House of Assembly Service Commission Amendment Law, which sought to take away the appointing power of the governor and give it to the speaker, is unconstitutional, and as such, it has been struck out. It's null and void to the extent of its inconsistency. Well, it's a victory for the rule of law. It's a victory for good governance. So on our part, my team and
it's a victory, is whatever. So that's practically what they were doing. To say if Fubara is not going to obey Wike, well, they, as lawmakers, they could take over part of his power and make things happen by even telling the guy even told the lawmakers that, the local government chairman that they should stay put in office. This Rivers State House of Assembly, led by this guy, they have extended their tenure. Yeah, that's part of the whole wahala to start with. Listen to this.
Let me very sincerely, on behalf of members, thank the Court of Appeal for what they are doing for this country, especially for their efforts in ensuring that the rule of law remains the order in this country. We thank them for what they are doing for this country, and it's our hope that they will continue to serve this country in their capacity as judges so that our democracy can remain for the good of all. A lot of people have been worried, particularly with regards to the fact that the tenure of local government chairmen, vice chairmen, and councillors would elapse in few days, and it's been impossible for RISEC to conduct elections to fill the vacancies. A lot of people have been calling on us to find out what the position is. But let's make it very clear here that the 10th Assembly of Rivers State has not received any requests from the governor to screen members of caretaker committee to fill vacancies in the local governments. We haven't received any such communication, and we believe that's in line with Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution as altered, which has guaranteed a system of local governments by democratically elected local government officials, that the governor will not send any list to us. We're not expecting any lists because caretaker committees are indeed an aberration. They are not allowed by the Constitution or by any.
That's the former speaker, the guy that is loyal to Wike. They are still parading themselves as members of members of Rivers State House of Assembly. So the appeal court is referring to there was when this local government chairman went to court and said the court should stop Fubara from removing them. And the appeal court was like, what do you mean? Your tenure, 3 years tenure will end so time. You have to go. So if there's going to be any caretaker or any administrator to be appointed to the local government areas, that's going to be the job of the governor and the State House of Assembly to work that out. But you can't come to court and say you are elected to be there for 3 years. your time is going to end in about 2 months, and then you come to court and say, this guy, court should stop him from removing you as a local government chairman. You're right. Or it's because it is with the Wike. They could have gotten a judgment. I don't know what happened. Something happened. With the Wike missed something there. He promised them. He promised these guys too. I think they are going to Supreme Court. And you know Supreme Court now. Supreme Court can just say, well, they should go back. And they are members of it. So but for now, Fubara is treating them just like some noisemakers out there, I believe. So today, across River State, it was actually the women first. You heard them singing earlier. See them in front of one of the local governments. Asari Toru, I think, is called local government area.
Okay.
Why we are here?
Whether Calabar English or anyone that you're comfortable, Calabar English broken. No, yeah, I'll be live here. So I need mix now. I'm mixing.
Why we are here today is because of the information we had. We are Saga women from various communities and various members are here. We are here because these chairmen, their tenure has elapsed. And they refuse to do what? To go! Yes. Is that not why we are here? Yes! They must go. We voted them. Their tenure has elapsed. So we said they should do what? Go! Go! Let another. They should go. We want peace. We want peace in Asaga. We are not here for violence.
Very good.
We want peace. Yes. So that is why we have come from our various communities to tell them that their tenure has what? So they should go. Let another come. Chairman away! Away! Councillors away! 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 Appointees away! Away! Chairman away! Away! That is why we are.
Thank you very much.
And then they sang. Oh my land, oh my land, oh my land, oh my land. When shall I see my land? When shall I see my beautiful land where we can collect by force? Yeah, in front of the Asari Toru this afternoon. It's similar too. People were just like, Chairman, away. Councillors, away. What did you see in that video? The first one you saw women. The second one you see young men who were supposed to be at work. This whole thing should be what you should be seeing in front of that secretariat, local government secretariat should be the police trucks or police vans to implement what the law says. Not young people. That is just to tell you what you need to know. How many young people are currently recruited into the army of different political camps, and they are there to defend their camp, because from that they probably will have, or from that depends their survival. So the guy himself was in church yesterday. Seamless Fubara. Yeah. And then there is a pastor there who was like, using that situation you have just witnessed there, right, as a prayer point for him. We know you are going through a lot, and the Almighty God and the Heavenly Father is going to see you through.
The congregation.
We will continue to uphold what is right, what is just for the interests of our dear states.
Let us all continue to pray for him for success. We know the challenges that we're facing as a country, and Rivers State in particular. God Almighty will see you through, sir. Because God knows your heart. You mean well for the good people of Rivers
times.
We're only standing because of your prayers. That is the truth. What we have gone through in this state, nobody, no government, previous government have gone through it. But it's only God that has made us still standing. I will watch, understanding that one day I will leave, and what will account is how they didn't watch for us. Not control. It's when you're controlling that you become obsessed. When you're watching, you know that one day you will leave and another will take over. I will watch with the fear of God. And I will make every one of you proud. I will make a difference in leadership. And that difference is giving everybody the opportunity to be free in this state.
For his part, there are individuals that don't mean us well. If you remember from years back, some people have predicted that this country was going to back up in 2015. This is 2024, we are strong and we're still moving forward. We will continue to go higher and higher. God is with us all. Always we should remember that. We should continue to pray for this country to succeed. Continue to pray for members of the armed forces. We mean well. We will continue to do well.
And let our governor enjoy his government.
Idegbo Biakeme. AI
Nuisance leleyi.
Nuisance làwọn eléyìí. See life, life can be so, it's like universe sort of make a lot of jokes. Or should I say, yes, this universe can be very funny. And then it kind of makes jokes all the time. Person will help with a Wike to steal over 1.1 trillion naira from River States. That 430 billion of that money got the EFCC to declare him wanted. He's fighting for the poor. And he says something about freedom. I will continue to watch. All I have to do is to make sure I give every one of you opportunity. Okay? Yes. It's working for us. Let us pray for him. And that way too was like, pray for the armed forces. Pray for us who are doing everything for this country. What are you doing? Are you being serious? You guys are supposed to be in jail. But no thanks to that crime scene, the contraption that rewards criminals and punishes citizens, so to say. Unfortunately, anyway. But lastly, there's something here for you. And this one may suit you well, but it is not in any way kind of like, shouldn't suit you. I'll still tell you. MKO Abiola, by the poor people in Nigeria, was a good man. He helped, he supported sports, he supported, religion, both Christian, Muslim. Is like a community oriented. He's just like a philanthropist, Sha. That's how MKO Abiola is remembered. By the poor people. He is the president, best president that Nigeria never had. And that's Second, that title would have been given to Bokohari and Thiefnubu if they had been stopped in 2015 from ever nearing power. People would have said the same thing. That Buhari would have been the best president that Nigeria would have ever. They'll say Buhari is the best president Nigeria never had. They are saying that about Pastor Ruga. Lawyer wait on to money man, the bad man, the Adeboye Babaoja, sharing money to lift people out of poverty. Now, some believe that that's the best president Nigeria never had. So Abiola, kind of the poor were made to believe that Abiola was so rich, he didn't need anybody's money. He was so rich. They said Abiola was loaning money to Nigeria. The poor people believed that Abiola will never touch their money. So he was a good man. But you can't say the same of those who succeeded in, like, we've heard stories. We've seen Abiola's children walk with those who denied him his presidency, sort of. Kola Abiola at a point was even running to be a president in Nigeria. But the whole family, you know what I'm talking about. The whole family is a sorry case. All of Abiola's empires, the printing press, the Concord, the hotels, all this big stuff that they shall listed as Abiola. I don't even know them anymore. So how did they manage them after Abiola? And they were supposed to be genuine businesses that the children mismanaged them. Or just like many of the billionaires you have in Nigeria today, you can't really pinpoint to what they invented that made them that money, other than grace of God. And I met Yomi Totu in 1961 when I was in Ibadan College, University College Ibadan. Then we became friends and I met his sister, and that's how I made my money. That's the story of Nigerian billionaires. They've never invented anything, but they are billionaires, very rich. A lot of us now know better, sure you get. So one of his sons came out now and said, oh, listen, guys, the person who was supposed to be the head of the family, the one that their father was practically sort of raised to lead or head the family, was a total disaster. He let down. He destroyed their father's legacy because rather than build it or maintain it, they decided to monetize it. So the highest bidder. So everything else, shambles. He spoke to Sheung Kimbaloye on his own PowerPoint or something on YouTube. So I want to share this. He said, when their father, MKO Abiola, was imprisoned by Abacha, Kola was doing I love you to Babangida's daughter. They married themselves anyway, all these guys. Babangida's daughter will go and marry Thiefnubu's son. Bokohari's daughter will go and marry Ajimobi's son. Alao Akala's son will go and marry Benga Daniel's daughter. Like that. Emir of Kano's daughter will go and marry Obi of Onitsha's son. Obi of Onitsha's daughter will go and marry Oba of Benin's son. The way that they do it like that, between themselves. I just never thought anybody would be that stupid to be shagging the daughter of the man that called your father, ready to be hanged by a madman, Abacha. But the son said it, Abdul. Listen to Abdul.
I mean, do you blame him for the manner in which things have gone? Do you think that the legacy of the MKO Abiola would have been properly sustained better than it is right now?
Yeah, I definitely do, because he was in a pivotal position, especially after the whole crisis. He could have been a voice. He could have been a strong voice of true democratic values. He could have. He chose not to. Apparently, at the time, my father was still in jail. He was having relations with Babagida's daughter for Christ. I don't want to. You know, it's just sad. You know, I actually even was a little bit pleased that my father didn't get to come out and see what his first son had turned out to become.
So you are unhappy with him?
I am unhappy. I think Nigerian people are unhappy. You saw how many people voted for him when he said he wanted to be president. I wonder how he thought he could be president. You cannot manage Abiola empire. How do you want to manage Nigeria? How does that work? This is the problem in Nigeria. People are not showing capacity in their own little spaces of work, and then they want to now get a higher position. You don't deserve a higher position.
So you didn't vote for your brother?
I told him. I said, you're not going to use my money to do campaign. Give me my money first, and go on campaign.
Do you think he owes you anything?
He owes me a lot. Well, first of all, if he just listens to what my father said in the will and does what he's rightfully supposed to do, like every other person has done, he's not the first to be the first son of a. We have the Falawiyos as an example. These people, I think, we have lost so much. There's so much property that my father had in this country that we can never get back, because people have sat on it and they're using it to take care of their families. But the issue here is, who is to lose? Is our money that was used to buy these things. Those properties now, you cannot build them today with the kind of money you're going to spend. I'm talking about the silo in Kwara State, Lafiagi. 20,000 metric ton silo with 10,000 hectares of land. How much do you want to pay for that land now? You know, it's sad that, you know, your father has reached a certain level and you cannot continue from where you stopped. I would like him to explain to me where exactly he has gone with this direction. It's like you're going down a dead-end road and you are seeing the signs and you still keep going. I don't understand this. And this is 30 years down the line. So it's not like I waited a year after my father died and I'm making these accusations. I'm saying people have died in this 30 years. I'm talking Abiola children who could not do or buy medicine just to take care of themselves. This is sad. And I'm sure my father will not be pleased about it. So I am not pleased. And it's not because, like I said, it's not because I want. It's like I wake up in the morning and my phone is inundated with text messages of people saying, I need help, I need help. How many people can I help? And if I want to help somebody, I have to first be able to help myself. It's important that we do things the right way. And I think that's just my issue on this.
Have you been able to speak to Kola Abiola about some of these grievances that you have, especially because there are those who believe that MKO Abiola's wealth would have been a generational wealth because he had so much wealth and spread across the country such that there are those who believe that no Abiola blood should ever be poor based on what Abiola had.
You're totally right. And you have to understand that what I'm talking about are just the properties in Nigeria. This is not where Abiola had his real wealth. Abiola had those companies in Nigeria just to help Nigerian people. They were losing money. They were bleeding money, but he did this because he understood that Nigerian people needed something to do. Give somebody nothing to do and they'll pick up a gun. You need something to do. So he understood that. What I'm just telling you right now is very simple. You see, Abiola's wealth was from outside this country. Abiola did not do anything outside. He was an intelligent accountant. When he was ITT, was the state director of ITT or something like this, there was monies that were being owed their company. When he was able to retrieve the money from that military government, I think it was under Murtala at the time, he went back to his masters in the West, I think it was England. When he got there, he said, oh, this is the check that your money you've been owing. And then they were now going to offer him like a commission. He said, no, give me shares. So my father has shares. So I told Barakola when I go back to Nigeria, I said, the monies that are outside the country, I don't want to disturb you with that one. That is for you. Eat it, die. Eat it, do whatever you want. That's your business. But the ones that are in Nigeria, we will die there.
Have you been able to take that up? Some of the properties and some of the businesses?
Like I said, we took over Concord. That is being, at the time we took it over, he went ballistic, took me to the Kabiyesi Akiolu's palace to tell me why I should leave the place. I'll even give you a funny story. The day I went to that Concord, this would have been maybe 18 years had passed. I'd been in Nigeria. I'd been working in Osun State at that time with Ogbeni Rafa Rogoshola. Thank God for him. Because if not for him, I wouldn't probably have had the courage to do what I did. It was the second term. I was on my way to Oshogbo, and I just kept on thinking because I had 2 kids, young kids at the time, and I had to go to Oshogbo. I stayed 3 months. Then,
I mean, do you blame him for the manner in which things have gone? Do you think that?
Glorify your name to the core, owner of the day, owner of the beginning and the head. I glorify your name to the core, Father of the glory. There is nobody can share the glory with you. You are beginning of the glory, you are everlasting. No, you are glorify your name to the core.
Because they are looting today. I love what he said, though. He said their father's wealth didn't come from Nigeria, he said, but he said it's not in Nigeria. Okay? But you see the stuff that their father has in Nigeria, their color allowed to waste away. Some of them is sold. He never shared the money. There are so many of you today who love your oppressors, who love these criminals who are looting public funds today. And you are telling yourself, man, the money that this man have stolen, their family will never suffer, ever. That's why I played you that video. These guys that are looting and stealing the future of these young Nigerians today, thinking they will use that to protect the future of their own children. Their children will eventually lose all the wealth, and it's going to be a two-way thing. That's not karma. That's just a reminder to all of you that if you don't stop these criminals, they will loot you, okay? They will loot you and continue to destroy this contraption, right? And you might think their children are going to enjoy that once they are dead. Thiefnubu, whatever Thiefnubu have stolen today, majority of them is going to be lost to those he called his friends. Many of his children will never see that money. Then, the moment the ones who are seeing the money, once the free flow stops, you can go back and look at the children of some of these dead thieves in Nigeria. Say if MKO Abiola, that never held any public office other than, is the friends of those who held offices. And he made a very good fortune for himself. When he died, all of that fortune died with him. Today, the smart ones among his children will grab whatever they can grab for their own survival, like many of you. So this generational wealth, using the public wealth to create a generational wealth is a ruse, is a lie. And if you are aspiring to have one, you are deluded. You are. Today, Abiola's children, the only card they are now using for those of them who want something, who haven't managed to get anything for themselves, is to say, I am Abiola's daughter. I am Abiola's son. And since you have June 12, you have Democracy Day in his name, you could get political appointment as Abiola's son and Abiola's daughter. That's what many of these guys are going to end up as. They will continue to try and live off the rest of you. They send their children abroad to all the supposed best expensive schools to go and acquire the best education. But yet, with stolen money, yet their children will never return back to Nigeria and use that education to make that country better. Let's assume the poor only care about food. What do you think those who are in power care about? You are spending so much money only because you want to fix your daughters, your sons, to be collecting money that they don't have to work for, political appointments. And you see Nigeria. So there is actually nothing from these guys to benefit anybody. Nothing. They spend their money, they steal your money to buy education for their children. Their children return back to Nigeria. They are still living off you as scavengers. Well, let me take a break. We need to take calls tonight. And I think I'm due for haircuts. But somehow it makes me look older. And I kind of like it. But sometimes I don't like it when I am reminded. Somebody said I looked like a 55-year-old man. Okay, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Every time I look at my face, I'm like, I should be happy. Anyway, I'll take a break. Okay, so if you are still here with us, if you want to be part of it, the number to call is right in front of the screen. It's truly there. So all my super chatters, thank you. So don't go anywhere. I will be back. I kind of like dancing to that behind the scene, all right? But it's time for us to take calls, okay? So I have my first caller tonight. Brother, hello there.
All hell Biafra, all hell Oduduwa.
All hail Biafra, all hail Oduduwa. How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been busy, so I haven't been able to check in. Though it's kind of hard these days calling in because you're fighting with thousands of people. But which is a good thing.
You probably kind of still keep tab on us anyway. People are so busy these days, but they still feel like the day is not completed if they do not listen to Mayego. People told me that.
Yes.
So it's good to hear from you, Baba. Please.
Yes. So before I start, I like the way you have the background, so others people now we can be able to see what goes on behind the scenes in terms of the studio. I find it very intriguing.
You like
know?
it? I don't know how you look on the big studio, all right? But somehow that's what I do. Sometimes I'll sit here, sometimes I have to get up there and quickly do a mix of a new teacup, right? And then I do that. I actually, dance behind the scene.
Yes, I like it. Please continue. But today's show was fantastic. What people don't understand is that Nigeria has already collapsed. They're just seeing a little bit of the trinkles of it right now, the sprinkles of it. As we proceed down the line within this year and maybe coming year, it's really going to start hitting. I mean, like you're going to start seeing the cracks. And that's what a lot of these people or Nigerians are now understanding, that the country is gone already. You have another big company that left last week or the other week. So with all this happening, a lot of them are not putting two together to see that it's all over with. When you start seeing major corporate companies like that leaving, it's a big signal that something is wrong with your economy, something is wrong with that country. So they need to now wake up, snap out of this nonsense, this deep sleep they're all in, and just do the needful, because it's all over. They're looting as much as they can.
Stop. That's my own slogan, If you don't stop these rogues, they will never stop. They won't stop.
Yeah, but the Stockholm syndrome is deeply entrenched, that they can't even. They love it. You telling them, like I see them all the time attacking you in the chats and the comments. You're telling them the truth. You're giving them this is what you need to know in order to save yourself. But they'll still fight you tooth and nail, until they wake up and realize when Nigeria happens to them. Then that's when they realize that, and it's no longer a game anymore. People, you're being killed. You have no security. You have nothing. Is to let you know you have no government. and these Fortune 500 companies are all leaving in droves. It's to let you know Nigeria is gone. The sooner, the better. You people understand this thing. You can pray from now to thy kingdom come. Yes. All your prayers and everything. Obviously, it seems like it's not working because you're not waking the hell up. People, wake the hell up. You have churches. You have more churches in Nigeria than you have any medical or any institution or anything like that. And yet, it's still not getting through your heads. Well, good morning. This time is going to happen. All hell Biafra, all hell Duduwa.
All hail Biafra, all hail Oduduwa. Take it easy, bro. Okay, you have a good one. Okay, I think I have another caller on the line as well. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Maegun.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm very well. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful show, and I've been a follower of yours for a long time now. On this, the first time I'm calling in.
Oh, grand. Who am I speaking with, please?
You are speaking with Mr. Israel Adeboye. I'm calling you from Nigeria.
Mr. Israel. Such a pleasure to meet with you, Baba. So thank you so much for coming as well. Please.
My contribution is going to be brief. From my observation, it seems the way out is to go back to the very bottom. Like the resources, they are still milking Nigeria and it's still dripping some things. You understand? So until they scavenge everything and there's nothing left, I think that's when they will realize that the earlier the better. I think you get what I'm trying to say.
There's still some things for them to take, maybe when there is nothing anymore. But it's
yes,
nothing anymore anyway, because what people, it's like, people have lost a lot. Only if they know, Abi, people have lost so much that some people have lost everything. That all they have left right now is just the breath that they have, this life. This anyone who could just the breath. Once you take
yes, you see, it looks like beer. When you pour beer into a bottle, you see the foam, the level of the foam is usually higher than the actual level of the drink. So the situation is so much worse, but we are just seeing the virtual level. But when the foam clears, people will understand.
Right.
So sooner or later, it's just sooner or later, we are just like on a virtual level now, borrowing every day, no development, no new industry. People keep giving back every day. I used to ask some people.
Jobs anymore. Have you noticed? Like we used to hear
No, they are
about,
not talking
how
about
many
that.
jobs have you created? How many? Nobody is even talking about that anymore. Just
because the statistics are no longer.
And I think just existing like for existence sake.
I asked a young guy, what do you want to become in future? He said he wants to work in a company, maybe in a big company. I now asked him, how many new companies have you seen since you were born? How many? Like virtually none. You understand? So the situation is, for me, I'm with you. Like we have reached the bottom. We just need to scatter everything and rebuild. That's my take tonight.
God bless you, okay? Just stay safe, Take it easy.
Thank you so much.
People who actually experience this are better off telling us what it feels like if you are watching me from Nigeria. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, yeah, this is Mark. I'm calling from Manchester.
Hey, Mark. Did you say Mark or Max?
Mark Alili.
Mark. So I have Mark from Manchester. How are you this evening?
Fine. This is my first time calling.
You may need to move away from that broadcast or mute it so that you can.
No, I've moved away.
Yeah, it's better. Okay, Baba, everyone can hear you.
Yeah. I could say you're doing a very good job.
Me for one, I don't like podcasts, but ever since I come across your podcast, I've been spending like 2-3 hours every evening, just to listen to it.
I can only imagine.
So no, I don't like listening to podcasts, but I actually got interested in listening to you during the election time when I was following the elections, and I came across your podcast. I said, who's this person again? But when I listened to 3 episodes, it was very, very, very interesting. So I even have to share with my friends, and I've been listening all this while. So yeah.
Now tonight we are now talking.
Yeah, we are now talking now. I've been trying to call all this while, but most times I don't get through. Let me just try again this evening.
I'm glad you didn't stop trying. So here you are. Wow.
Yeah. All right. So something I would like to ask you. Don't you feel like depressed? Every day you come up with different topics. Sometimes I just don't want to listen, because after listening, sometimes I just feel depressed because I keep asking myself, what's going to change?
Sometimes I will have so much which I have grasped throughout the day. Okay. Then when it is time for me to put all these thoughts together, like I want to come and talk about them, so I need to first put them together. Okay. Then, Baba, I will be staring at my phone for more than an hour, 2 hours. I won't be able to put my thoughts together. Like, okay, what am I going to talk about this evening? Which of all these happenings, which of them is so important in according to their importance that I have to let people know about? How do I put them together? You see that frustration, right? It actually hits me too. Sometimes I may not be able to put my thoughts together until like an hour before I start. So yes, I do feel it. But you know something? I have something that I believe. It doesn't matter. I think it doesn't really matter whether I feel bad, I feel depressed and anything. The moment the camera is on and I look at my screen and I see 2, 3 people, 4 people, that's enough for me. I do not need to, I do not need to put them together before I start talking. But because I have a lot of audience now, so I need to articulate what I'm talking about. But generally, Mark, it is exhausting. I promise you, it is.
Because it's really depressing, when you see these things over and over again, and it seems there is no end to it.
Every day. So you can only imagine. Not doing it at all probably will be worse for me. Because I see things. I see a lot of things. I hear a lot of things.
Because I want to ask, don't you know that even the people we talk about, they still listen to these programs, they listen, and sometimes they just be laughing because they just feel that, they can rant all they can rant all they can.
Look at me and they just feel sorry for me, like, look at this guy. He's so much.
Can rant all you can.
But nothing will happen.
Exactly. So they don't feel like they can rant all they can, but nothing will come out of it. If you've got no power, you're not going to do anything. You can only talk and talk and talk. Well, they will just pay lip service to whatever thing you're complaining about.
Mark, I want to believe that you're wrong. It's just a matter of time. I get your drift.
Yeah, because because there's so much losses, so much life has gone. People are in penury. People over there, they're not living. They're just existing, just breathing. Some of them sometimes you can't really blame some of them the way they act, or sometimes they become so docile. They're just looking for something to eat or survive. They can't even think for themselves anymore. It's really, really that bad, because I do have people over there.
You're experiencing it. You are not in the best position to actually to give a full assessment. Like if I am if I'm unable to pay 50,000 or 100,000 for a child, school fees, I'll be a different person. I'll actually be a different person. If I'm unable to feed my kids, despite the fact that I have a job and I know I might take home, right? I will be a different person. You know what I mean? So that's why it's sad sometimes when we see people who are experiencing this, still standing up to defend these criminals. That's the mixture of it. Ordinarily,
it's really depressing, because for me, like you used to say sometimes that we need to get that critical mass, because critical mass is very, very important for any action to actually be effective. You need a critical mass to actually cause enough force, But to get a critical mass of people that will actually stand out and resist these people, like during the EndSARS, we came very close during the EndSARS period before they became so scared and they had to crush it down. And they are trying everything possible not to get that kind of a movement again, or that kind of mass of people that will come out and actually fight them. So most times, I believe they try to put division among the people, the people actually opposing them. People will be fighting themselves, quarreling themselves. So Showore will be attacking the obedient will be attacking these ones. They enjoy it. They put all these, all these confusions here and there, so that these guys can actually galvanize themselves together and actually give them real resistance. Because I don't see anything happening if there's no real force, because these people, they will keep doing. The oppressor will never ever leave the oppressed alone until the oppressed fights back. A bully will never stand down until it is confronted.
Push back, exactly.
Yeah, they won't stop it.
Slave master willingly let their slaves go without
No.
pushback.
No. Because every day they'll bring different ridiculous things. Today we'll complain, oh, they are building a vice president for 21 billion. Tomorrow they will do another one. They can, no problem. They will shout. After some time they will forget about it. Do it. They will keep doing it until the people stand and fight. And even right now, so it's even becoming worse, because if insecurity is even weakening the people, even the people are not even having peace, even in their ancestral land anymore.
The peace side, Abby. Let people be peaceful.
Yes.
Do you see what the insecurity has done to people, Papa? It is impoverishing them en masse.
Exactly.
Poor people are coughing out tens of millions of naira for ransom.
Exactly.
Those
so how can these people
their food can't go to farm? People are poor.
Exactly.
Because of all these things, Papa. Go on.
So how can these people now come together and fight the government? I think the government because it's a very good it's a very good situation for them. The people cannot resist them. They are weak from all directions. Different things have completely improvised. They have made them weak. So I don't see the people can actually push back. They are being battered by insecurity. They are battered by different kind of poverty here and there, and lacks all around. I don't, the people are actually at their weakest right now. And that's why what you do is very, very, very important, because it's from actually the mind. That is where things actually start from. What you're doing is actually stimulating the mind so that people can actually, draw that energy from somewhere and resist these people, because we're in a critical mass of people that, will be really determined to actually want to push back, from their mind, really want to fight back. Because right now, what I see are those docile population. Everybody just, they're so helpless. Just, hopeless. They can't really help themselves. So most times when I listen to some of these things, one is depressed. All right, thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Right. Okay, I appreciate that. Right, and please,
thanks.
Never cease calling or trying to get through too. Okay.
All right, thanks. All right.
I could use your voice here too. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Man. So that is a Mark from Manchester, first-time caller. That's the second first-time callers tonight. Great. Chike is awake. Chike should be at work. Or thank you. Okay, that's very kind of you. And listen, guys, right? Please help share this broadcast from whatever platform you are watching from right now. Then like it. Okay, I appreciate that. We kind of crossed 95,000 last night, which is great. So we are now 5,000 away from 100,000 on YouTube. That's great too, and I appreciate. So I say thank you to every one of you that contributes to that. All this you're sharing, all this you're liking, and all of this, right, is of great value to this to me and to all of us here too. So thank you. And then I have a caller. If he's still there, hello.
My good general. Baodi Baba. Oh, hold on. My daughter wants to hail you first of all. She's scared. She's shy. Finally. My good. God bless you. Yeah, she is. There's public holiday tomorrow here. My good general, you're doing too much, man. God bless you. Afternoon, evening, everything. You're working for freedom of your people and Nigeria in general. Mayego, you see, I understand you. Turn it up, turn it down. You know, there's something I've observed about.
You have to learn how to now, like.
She was trying to listen to it. She was trying to listen to it on the TV, and I know it will cause a problem and all that. So I had to tell her, I'm sorry about that. You know, I understand.
You know, one thing I discovered about this platform is that, and that's what part of what actually made me sort of, rebrand, and I stopped cursing too much, because people find this platform, this program convenient and comfortable that they could even have children around. I've had people who have children around, so it's not biggie, Baba, right?
So, no, but it's also exciting. It's also exciting. It's also exciting. It's also exciting to see you get upset sometimes and curse, because it's frustrating in this place. In Nigeria, it is frustrating here, Mayego. Mayego, you see, I understand where you come from so many angles. People, in general, Nigeria as a whole, as a country, if we say we're normal human beings and we know this person will lead us, no matter the tribe, no matter the religion it comes from, and this person will do well, we will be better than most European countries, because our population, our ginger, once we want to trend something online, we trend it, move so fast. You know, those are the advantages, and talk less of the poverty we go through. We don't have light, we don't have a lot of things to even have the internet constantly to do all those things we do. The creativity from Nigerians from all tribes as a union will do so well. But I know where you're coming from, why you have to have Yoruba nation, you have to have Biafra nation, because these people are demons. They are demons. You must scatter them, and every other tribe will decide, is this how we want? Do you think if the Yoruba people sit down together with someone like Femi Adesina in that place, sitting with Biden, talking to him, and they will carry someone like Tinubu to rule us? Femi Adesina was talking to Biden on his ear, talking. That is someone that we know that. Oh my God, it pissed me off so much when I saw those kind of things. I saw these kind of things. Always the worst, leading us. And the Americans also know that this guy, they have all his history. He can't be close to Biden like that now. He can never be close to Biden because they know his opponent.
Have you not noticed?
Yes, because they know his political people will use it against Biden. You know, Mayego, God bless you so much. You know, and you see what Tinubu also does. I don't know what kind of power he has, that he has ruined some very respectable, aging Yoruba men like Adeboye and Shoyinka. I respected those men. When I used to go for Adeboye.
It's all about interest.
I got.
Do you know something?
No.
You know that.
Mayego, please, in God's name, in God's name, interest and Adeboye, I don't know where they align. I will go to church on the 26th. On Christmas, after Boxing Day, when Adeboye comes to redeem, I used to be a redeemer. I will watch this guy pray, and I will adore him. He's quiet. That Eedris program you played, Eedris Tassi them to their bone.
Yes.
You Tassi them, and I love that thing he did. See Shoyinka can't talk again. How will this man run someone as legendary as Shoyinka? See Shoyinka dies now. God, I know you ever.
Some people were asking, right? They were like, this Thiefnubu has made a lot of people to unravel. Okay. Then they are like, what exactly could have been that thing that they benefited from this guy, or he has on them, that some of them are ready to trade away their reputation that they have.
Tinubu get power.
Before now.
Tinubu get power. He has spiritual power that is above.
What kind of influence does he have on them?
It's not money. It's more than money.
It's not money. People may think it's money. It's not money. It's something
more. Money. Tinubu has one kind of spiritual. Someone told me that he saw Tinubu and he saw Oracle. Tinubu will sit down. You see Akpabio. Akpabio is from my state. It's just like me trying to defend Akpabio. Akpabio is a miserable person. And that's the kind of person Tinubu just needed to run that Senate. They want to buy jets with what we're going through in my group. They want to buy jets. They're fixing roads. See the roads, see the destruction in people's properties. That road is costing. People are crying from all angles, from the beach they destroyed to Ilaje to this place. People are crying. Meanwhile, that money would have just been used to fix a normal road that was already existing perfectly. Increase the lanes, put street lights.
15 trillion is over. Sorry, 15 trillion is over $12 billion.
I know. Mayego, I know. Oh God, Mayego, God bless you. Let me don't waste people's time. God bless you so much.
So that I will remember this.
Mayego, I did Nigeria. I cannot talk my name.
You go live out like that, right? I respect that. Stay safe, man.
Mr. G, we're getting plenty. People are getting angry. People are getting angry here, small. Even his supporters. I'm seeing his supporters getting very, very angry because one cannot get anything tribe or anything. People are getting. You enter me. I used to be middle class, but I don't even know if I'm middle class again. I don't know where I belong.
You can't
because I can't. I'll go to supermarket.
I go to
no middle class market when I buy things. When I buy things in supermarket, small things, I just go buy small 1, 2, 3, 4 things. They'll say 25,000. I'll look at the screen. Which one is this? Remove my insecticide. Remove my this, because I have tomorrow to spend again. The best thing is just to stay at home. You don't see that woman where you play where they cry. See that woman where they cry. She says, "It's better I die. It's better I die." There are more coming. No, just watch.
I know.
Just watch. There are more coming. God bless you, my brother.
Man,
God bless you so much.
Okay, and you have a
God
good
bless
one,
you.
See, it happen. People will tell you free of charge, and as Eedris put it, "Emi lo kan, don't turn to ebi lo kan." I'm going to play that after this caller. Take this to 1,000 on YouTube. We were almost 2,000 earlier, right? So before all of you go back to bed, just make sure that you have paid your offering, like the broadcast, okay? I have another caller. Hello.
Hi, my own brother, my Beatrice.
Oh, me lady Beatrice. How are you this evening, ma?
I thank God. You know about
how is body? Like
yeah, you know, that's why I say I just have to call and just contribute a little word.
Please.
You know, because all the things we are planning, all the taking over from these people by citizens and so on and so forth. What we have forgotten is that we don't have weapons. Citizens may gather, they will get their weapons and kill those, like what happened at the EndSARS. They will kill people they want to kill, and people will run away, and so on and so forth. I felt so bad when the military started being attacked. No matter how bad the military is, that is still the only people that can help us. Even if it is for only 6 months, and conduct proper election or change this thing we are all planning.
Change the constitution and let people discuss their future.
The only people that can get it is the military. That was why when this guy came in, he first announced no coup will be permitted. If the military can be saving Niger, we have stronger military than Niger has. So, but he first of all thought he would use fear to, he couldn't bribe. Look, even the least military person in Nigeria, if there are 5 or 10 of them, they can save the whole of us. It only takes people who are, look, I want to die for this country. Even if I die, I don't care. Not those generals. The generals are all well fed. They have pot bellies. But there are people in the military that are also suffering like us, that their parents are suffering, their children are suffering. I felt bad. I used to have an in-law called Police. He is mere like a beggar when he was a part of us. Mere like a beggar, and he was a drug addict. After taking the drug, he would come home and beat the hell out of my sister, you know, until he threatened her, if you don't leave my house within a few days, I'll kill you. You will see what will happen. We had to get hold of her and relocate her. And he has never contributed to his children's affairs and all that. So police may not be useful to us, but the military, I was still a young person when people like Muritala Mohammed, forget those who ended up criminals. Not all of them are. Muritala was so disciplined that he disciplined the whole Nigerians. That word, what do you call that word? Every Saturday, everybody will go and
war against indiscipline.
What exactly? Why? It was Muritala. That time that you have to be on the line to enter bus, you will see everybody were disciplined. If you are caught jumping the bus, being this and that, you are in trouble. Everybody sat up. Nigeria became like a new country. Even if we have those that will do it for us for only 6 months, they are the only people that can get rid of these criminals. I can bet you with my life that no other person, no other people in that country, be it Biafra, be it what is your own people's own?
You are now like all of you have created your country now. So what is your own Mayegu?
Yoruba Union and all
that's very funny, though. But yeah, I get you. Go on.
What I'm trying to say is that no any angle can match with these people because they have already paid the people that will fight for us.
And we do not have resources
they don't exactly. But remember that whenever there is problem in Nigeria, they do send our military people internationally to go and fight, and they win the battle. Nigeria has military men. If they decide to walk, nobody can stand them. Even if it's only 10 we can get, that will storm that place and surrender that place and do what you call Rawlings did in Ghana. We have our own Rawlings experience because we need that Rawlings experience. Because the people from even those that you think have retired, they are still milking the economy. Those that have finished their ruling for years and years, they are still milking the economy. All of them, if we can just get people like Rawlings Hart that can come, Nigerians will shout, Nigerians will herald them. They won't be there forever. Even if it is 6 months or 1 year, they get rid of these people and reorganize our system for us. There may not be anything that anybody can do. That is the only thing I want to contribute this night.
Thank you so much. I love your imagination so much, ma'am. And you see, there are people who believe indeed that, there should be military have the resources to take these guys out. But a vivid imagination, like vivid imagination. In reality, if anybody still believes that Nigeria has a military, my lady Beatrice, I kind of love your imagination though, okay? But let's hope, that like you said, it's maybe 10 or so people. 10 military or 20 of them they are enough, not all of them. I would continue to admire your imagination, ma. Okay? But let's hope that's something that some people have picked and they're like, yeah, the lady is all right, it's right, we can do it. But for all, that it is worth, I have to say I admire your imagination, okay? However, let's go take a short break, and that is Emilo Kan, OTD Emilo Kan, Eedris Abdulkarim.
Emilo Kan, don't turn Emilo Kan. Yorubas are screaming, Hausas are crying, Igbo brothers are saying, no blame them, Igbos are being discriminated. Even food don't turn to gold in Nigeria. Kidnapping, lucrative business in Nigeria. Imagine saying your grandchildren where they kidnap. By now, your soldiers for don't scatter Nigeria. How common man won't get money for ransom when they kidnap him, his wife and his children? After everything, now kill, they go kill them. See, as Naira, they fall against dollar. Emilokon, don't turn to Ebilokon. And you say make we sacrifice for Nigeria. 7 billion to renovate your residence. 15 billion for your traveling allowance. That's not for you and your only vice president. 40 billion for Asurok maintenance. 5 billion for food and refreshment. 100 of millions for dogs and animals. Meanwhile, hunger they kill Nigerians. What did Nigerians do to warrant this treatment? Even Gary, they no fear afford for the family. Thiefnubu government blame Buhari. Buhari government blame Jonathan. Hunger day, people they die. This one don't pass jaga jaga. Oh, Emiloko, OTB, Emiloko, Baba, Emiloko, Edaku, Edi power. Emiloko, OTB, Emiloko, Baba, Emiloko, Edaku, Ojeti wo. Thiefnubu was APC party leader during Mr. Buhari Jaga Jaga government. Why didn't you help Buhari to solve the problem? Debt under Buhari, 77 trillion. No proof of any positive transformation. Unborn children ain't go pay for this evil. You know, say Buhari was incompetent, but you still bring him to destroy Nigeria. Paddy government, now you are the president. Since Buhari don't destroy Nigeria, I hope say you go bring him to judgment. Emefiele printed 23 trillion within 8 years under Buhari government. $6 million for election observers. They say somebody forged Buhari's signature. Now lie, Buhari signed that document, period. Where our refineries, where una promise to fix. I've been a Dangote refineries would they depend on how much una don't make from removal of subsidies. Since una don't they sell fuel for 600 per liter. People they sell their properties to feed their families. Meanwhile, you and your cronies they buy more properties. Shout out to Labour chairman, una well done. If the government say they no fit pay 65k, then make them pay Senator and Rep 65k. Make all of us they enjoy the suffering and smiling. What you give is what you deserve. Ojoro no day. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Shout out to very black dark man. Where our daddy, Pastor Adeboye. During Good Luck Jonathan, your voice was so loud. You even vow to stage a 1 million march. Hunger and hardship under Thiefnubu government. You say Nigeria gets spiritual problem. Baba, we need your 1 million disciples to protest against President Thiefnubu government. Just the way you protest against President Jonathan. Daddy, I be leg don't depend your disciples. Fact, this na very big hypocrisy. It's time for you to speak the truth to power, because hunger won't kill Nigerians. Thiefnubu government blame Buhari. Buhari government blame Jonathan. Hunger day, people they die. This one don't pass jaga jaga. Oh, Emiloko, OTB, Emiloko, Baba, Emiloko, Edaku, Edi power. Emiloko, OTB, Emiloko.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please, forget it. I don't read.
Forget about it. Hello there.
Hello, Baba, my good general.
The Prince.
I want to call Mike.
Prince Jejeman. How are you?
I'm fine, Baba. You?
Well, I'm very well. I'm still here. Thank you.
How is our wife, Abike? How she doing?
I know she's.
How she doing?
You know, she's in and out. That's why I've cancelled my my normal day program for now, so that I can still keep covering for her. But yeah, she's getting.
That's
better.
good.
Thank you so much for asking.
We wish her a quick recovery.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well done, Baba.
Prince.
My our brother Eedris Karim. We'll give him 1,000 bosa.
On a fire.
I'm telling you, he finished the message there. Maybe small. He finished the message. Nothing will remain. We'll give her Bosa. Yeah, Baba. I call in to add my own contribution. I beg to disagree with our last caller. That our beautiful sister Beatrice. I want to remind her that the calamity of Nigeria where we are now is the military. The military is the people that gave us 1999 Constitution, that decree. And that decree is a terrorist and a criminal decree. Okay? And they make sure that they protect that document. They are the one keeping the way Nigeria is. It's not these criminals that are in Aso Rock. Without the military that's backing them up, they will run away under a second. Everybody come out, they will run away. So I want our sister to know that the military is even the one that is keeping everybody down.
They are the one protecting. They are the one protecting these criminals too, and they are getting their courts.
Yes. EndSARS, I want to remind her at EndSARS, what happened at EndSARS? The military that stopped the people from getting their life back, their destiny that was stolen. It's the military. Okay? And one thing she should know is that the military cannot help us, because they will make matter worse. Buhari has destroyed Nigerian military. It's not the military used to know that used to go to Liberia and just win war within 6 months. It's not the same military that Nigeria used to have. It's what we have today. The military has been infested or polluted with terrorists. Okay? All these things you see that they plant there, they call repentant Boko Haram or repentant enhancement terrorists. Is not one. How can a country say that terrorists are they repented, and it's not just 10, it's not 20. These are in their thousands. It's more the people that they told us that they repented. They are there in the military now as we speak, and to make matter worse, because Thiefnubu himself is a terrorist sympathizer. And he's also a terrorist, because if you support the terrorists, you're a terrorist. He said where Buhari stopped, that's where he's going to start.
And he's doing
continue. Okay, and see the disaster that Nigeria is inside now. Okay, the only thing that can save Nigeria is for every region to set up their own self-defense. Are you getting me? Why they are mad within Nnamdi Kanu is because Nnamdi Kanu managed to set up ESN as a self-defense against the Biafran people. Do you understand? That's why they release everybody, including the terrorist leader of Meti Allah.
That is what
they
Edwin
released
Clark
him.
said. Edwin Clark said if they could just suddenly withdraw charges against Bodejo, the Miyetti Allah's president. Like, what exactly is the thing that is making them to keep holding Nnamdi Kanu, even when their court said let him go? And somebody gave us the answer the last time, and he said, because what Nnamdi Kanu is proposing is going to be a total economic doom for Nigeria. And that is asking the Igbos to leave Nigeria. That is why Nnamdi Kanu cannot be freed. That doesn't make any sense, though, even though it could be true, right? But that's Nigeria for you. Why are they still keeping him?
The only reason Mayegu is because Nnamdi Kanu sacrificed his life for his people by making sure that he set up a security to protect the life of his people after all these governors that they're sponsored to be in our region, who is being headed by their chief terrorist insecurity officer, Hopeless also Demba. Okay? So they plan, you see what Fulani did from first position, the Supreme Court of Fulani, Tanko, planted a terrorist in our midst to be our leader, our governor today. People that have died in Imo State is more than thousands. Only in Imo State, not to talk all part of Southeast. Okay, so these are the things. Fulani is very much afraid. Their headache in Nigeria now is Nnamdi Kanu. That's one thing I want you to know, because they believe that Nnamdi Kanu is the only one who single-handedly led a movement that could protect their people in Nigeria. Other region has not had that kind of network. You understand? This is their fear, not even Biafra restoration. Okay? That's the reason why they are holding him. But they cannot eat him now. They cannot shop him. At the end of the day, it will be very clear to everybody when Fulani begin to unleash. You see, their senators, the beast in them is coming out. They are telling Nigerians that except you people accept open grazing, there's not going to be peace for you people. They don't lose anything. If Nigeria is good, they benefit. If Nigeria scatter, Fulani herdsmen will benefit, because they believe that Nigeria is not their home. Buhari was taking Nigeria resources to sponsor Niger. All of you were there looking at him. He's carrying Nigeria resources, even without Senate approving it, okay, to develop the Niger, while Nigeria is in hunger. So these are the things everybody should know. So don't hope on Nigeria military, my sister. Okay, the only thing that Nigeria military can achieve is if they have rebellion among them, then they all inside them they will have different rebels to fight for their region. But for them to fight for us as a Nigerian soldier, as a Nigerian military, that era is gone. That era is gone, my sister. Don't depend on that. Okay, so God bless you, Baba Mayegu, for your good work. Oh.
Thank you so much. Okay,
yeah.
And thanks so much for all the support as well. All right, stay safe.
Yeah,
and
thank you, Baba.
To the missus.
You too, Baba.
Cheers, now that's Prince JJ man. Let me take one or two more, because we started late, right? So we are now shooting over the hour. Okay, but I only have just about 10 minutes to go. So I don't know if we can manage that. My caller. Hello.
Hello, dear. Baba Agbalagba. Sure, sir. Ọwọ́ méjì ló. Baba, dey okay, Baba. Sure, sir. Thanks very much for tonight's banger. Nice. Oh, loud. Oh, timba. Oh, loud.
You see,
but the problem
so detailed, proper, right? It's just to show to you that that's the few times I've managed to be able to put my thoughts together. It's been a very rough last few days, man, honestly. I just have to kind of, say I've been the Geo, right? I can't come here and appear weak. So I still have to appear. I still have to appear and do things enough that all of you will be like, yeah, Mayego, thank you so much for tonight and all that. But it's almost showing. So I'm glad that I was able to put together something enough.
We appreciate you. We'll always appreciate you, and we'll always keep calling in to show our support and to show our love for you, and to let you know that, Baba, you are not alone. We stay here with you, Baba. We stay here with you physically. We stay here with you spiritually. We stay here with you, emotionally, Baba. I wasn't even expecting you to even come around that, because if not me, I know good life for you. I know good come.
I'm tempted. See, I won't lie. I was tempted to say, no,
Baba,
just wait for 2-3 days.
Baba, you should give it to your temptation once in a while, Baba. You should give that temptation once in a while, please. Baba, we know you want to do this. We know, Baba, but please, please take time off the job. If not for your sake, take off. Nigeria only make it. Say they can never make it. Only make it. They can. Nigeria the last accident, Baba. We don't conclude on this matter. Want to only make it. They can never make it, Baba. Yesterday, for the past couple of days now, in fact, I don't even call it again. Now, madam, they make me call it. I just look at. So, una know the hear word. Una still they ask for me the current arrangement una dey na military put una inside, and you are still calling that same military to come and rescue you. Ṣé kàn ṣe pé orí yín ti gbálẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà yẹn? Like, or I don't. What is wrong with you? As well, people have been
people who don't understand.
I called him repeatedly. Remember the other day, there was one day that two of our brothers, they call simultaneously and they say, oh, the military is going to come in and do this and do that. And then I called him. And then the next day, the military bombed people in Kaduna State. The same military that you were calling to come and rescue you. They bombed people literally the day after you called them to come and rescue you. What does that tell you? The military, they don't have time for you. They no send you.
Talking about having time for them. See, they have said it. They are for the regime. The Nigerian military is for the regime protection. Nigerian police is for the regime protection. They are not for the people.
I have people in the military. Me, myself, that I'm talking to you. I am a military man.
And now, ex-military
on exile. I am on exile right now. And nobody is coming to rescue you. What part of that sentence don't you understand? Nobody, including in fact, especially the military, nobody is coming to rescue you. You are on your own. Nobody is coming to rescue anybody, ladies and gentlemen. What part of that sentence is too difficult to understand? That you keep calling this person will come and somebody just called you from Nigeria, Mr. Z. God bless you. Please look after yourself and look after your family. And just so you know, Mr. Z, we are also waiting. If you can gather more people like you, if you are up to 1 million, call us. We'll come and join you. And we're going to burn everything down. Those of you that are calling, we know all of you now. Very soon. We'll just be calling and we'll start calling and we'll be swearing. I'm not. Well, you can shake me for you, but there's no point tonight. I have better things to do today, so I will just excuse you. But very soon, my
wait now, because you know, remember the golden rule, though, Martinelli. You are very much so free to disagree with them, but you will do so cautiously.
No. I will caution myself, so there's no need for that. But very soon, Baba, we would. Amatirawa debe. Amatirawa debe very soon. Don't worry. Amatirawa debe.
Thanks for warning me ahead. Okay, Martinelli.
Amatirawa debe. After all this one, everybody see the gather for election for 2027. Hello, Konua, LFFC, FWara 2027. Okoyima collapse, Okoyima crash, Okoyima wakana. That boat is going to enter the canal.
They should not disable people for another journey of
Nobody is coming to rescue anybody, ladies and gentlemen. So please, let's stop deceiving ourselves and let's stop making excuses for Nigerians.
Imagine it. Stop.
Baba, let's stop making. Baba, my major problem is people keep making excuses for Nigerians. Mayego, I want to ask you something. Do you know a man called Drake? Do you know who they call Drake?
Is that a musician guy?
Yes,
same Drake.
But if you see him now, will you recognize him?
Depends. I don't know. I mean,
okay. So, but guess what, Baba? The average Nigerians know what that man is eating for dinner tonight. If you ask the average Nigerian what is Jay-Z eating for dinner tonight, they will tell you. So they pick their news by themselves. They know what they want to listen to. If they want to listen to your Baba, do you know how many views Mr. Macaroni has on YouTube? Are you not on the same YouTube? People are watching him instead of you. And you are telling me that Nigerians, they don't have access to information. You are making excuses for Nigerians that they don't know what they are doing. They don't have access to information. So how is Mr. Macaroni getting 2.5 million views in 5 days? And Mayegun is getting only 2,000 views in 10 days. How? Who is watching Mayegun? Is it aliens that are watching Mayegun? Who is watching Macaroni? Is it Space Ghost that is watching them? It's not the same Nigerians. Who are their major audience? Is it not Nigerians that are watching them, both home and diaspora? That you people are making excuses for them. Oh, Nigerians, they don't have internet. They don't have this. They don't have that. Nigerian content creators, they are the most watched content. They are the most watched people in the whole of Africa combined together. The whole content creators in Nigeria combined, all of them, they have more views than some artists all over the world, in America and in Europe. And you are telling me that Nigerians, they don't have access to information. People stop making excuses for Nigeria. They know what they are doing. When they are ready, they know the number to call.
Valid ones you just pushed there, though, right?
They don't know what they are
that people can actually
stop. Okay, the military will come and save you. Nigerians don't know what they are doing. Come on, stop that nonsense. Oh my God.
Stop playing. Thank you so much, Martinelli. You have a good night, though. Okay?
Cheers, Baba.
So that's a Martinelli, ladies and gentlemen. And Martinelli should be our last caller tonight then, because our time has sort of been overshot. And I know a lot of us are still around, but we are currently out of time. And I'm glad I made it, I make it up to you, okay? Which is, we started late and we finished late. So appreciation to everyone who has been part of this tonight. The likers, the sharers, the commenters, the super chatters, the callers, all of you. Thank you for making it an interesting evening. I'm going to see you some other time, all right? I could see you tomorrow afternoon, that depends. But until then, just take it easy and have a wonderful night. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun Diary, Diary politico. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gbà rìbá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.